Okay then. WWE Backlash 2008. Nice of it then. Here we go. Started off the show. We got Mike Adamle. Another great example of why this guy's a crap commentator. He botched the very first word he said, claiming we were now turned into Blacklash, not Backlash, but there we are. And then, granted, we have got Mike Adamle, who was an awful commentator, but the coach is also an awful commentator, and he's gone. Got Foley instead. I thought Foley did a pretty decent job at One Night Stand a couple of years ago when him and Joey Styles did the first one. I think he was good here again. We'll talk about it now. The Matt Hardy MVP match. Some of the stuff he did, he talked about the fact that Matt Hardy had his appendix removed, that Randy Orton attacked his appendix, or kicked him where his appendix used to be and all that. So I think he had some decent knowledge of the backstory to everything. He knew the guy's movesets, like when MVP stood there, Matt Hardy counted him, thought he was looked like he might have been thinking about that kick, so he knew what he was on about. He knew the guy's movesets or whatever. Yeah, this match was okay though. They sold the prestige of the US title very, very well. I think Michael Cole mentioned the US title about 4 times in the match, and every time he called it the prestigious US title. I don't know if that's because WWE's mid-card is almost non-existent now, so they're doing their very best to convince us that the mid-card titles are prestigious, but there we are. Yeah, it was a good match. I don't like giving star ratings, but this was okay. It was a very good opener. I think it was the only choice for the opener. Definitely going to be Show Khali, one with the ECW title match. And, it was the easy choice, and it delivered. And well done, Matt Hardy. The crowd are pretty pleased he won that. Excuse me. Kane's Joe Grow was next up, which again I thought was a good idea because you wouldn't have put Big Show Khali this early, but I don't think anyone is enough into King Chavo to push it further up or to make the opener. So this was okay. It wasn't hugely interesting. We got one interference of Bam Neely. Of course, Adamle then messed up on the ref, and Taz ripped in for that. This was there, I think is the best way to put this. It was okay. Didn't like the finish. I thought the finish was a bit stupid. He hit the. I mean, it's not like. I remember the Kane feud with Jericho years ago, and Jericho used to do the lion salt and get caught in a chokeslam, and you could see, Kane would get him by the throat before the huge impact. This Chavo comes off the top rope, hit the frog splash. I thought, what? You're gonna give Chavo the ECW title back? Hits the frog splash. You're waiting for the ref to start counting, and all of a sudden you get a chokeslam. So I don't think they did that all that well. It's been done cleaner than that sort of thing. Not as good as the MVP Matt Hardy match. Not surprised at that. It was okay, and the crowd were again more pleased that Kane won it. Show Khali, right. This could have been awful. This really could have. I think this match kind of summed up the whole pay-per-view. The pay-per-view on paper looked set to be pretty shabby. Could have been a very, very, very poor hit. We could have been talking worse than lockdown, certainly. But they pulled it out throughout the entire card. This was okay. You can't wrestle chance for it even started. Khali did a cripple crossface. He let the arm go quite quickly, but there were times when that was locked in. I mean, don't want to talk about that. And overall, this was okay. There were boring chants in it, but I mean, not too much happened. There was just a lot of club-in shots. Wasn't any wrestling because neither one of them really does any wrestling moves. It wasn't great. It was the worst match of the night, quite easily. But then I think it was always going to be. It was nothing much. It was there, and I suppose, like my friend said, it was Big Show Mark. He said, this feud was inevitable. It was always going to happen. It was always going to be Khali at 7'3" against Big Show at 7 foot. It had to happen, and it's out the way now, and we can move on. Michaels Batista. This is the loudest boos I've ever heard Batista get at a show. Usually I've always thought, God, Batista's over, but no, he got booed at this. He got pretty well booed, in all fairness. But everything about now Shawn Michaels. Some nice mat stuff from Shawn Michaels. Continues to evolve Shawn Michaels. This is why I prefer Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker to Triple H, because they've been around a long time and they've evolved their movesets. They're doing new things, and I think, you know, he put a crossface in this match, and they continued the armbars, the armbar over the rope. We get a lot of good stuff that not too many people do, and I was impressed with Shawn Michaels. It was a good solid match. I think they could have done more with Jericho as a special guest referee. I think he was there, you know, I think if all him being there was his aggressive ways of pulling people off, you know, 5 counts in the corners, I think that could have been better done, but there we are. It was okay, no major gripe about that. This was a good match. This, up there with Matt Hardy MVP, maybe slightly better than it, I don't know. Didn't like the ending though. I mean, WWE got a thing that matches can only end with finisher, counter, finisher, or finisher, counter, finisher, counter, finisher hits. You know, it's like that's the way things go now. And Shawn Michaels goes to the Street Music, misses it, Batista bomb, puts him down. You know, I don't know whether or not he was actually supposed to have hurt his knee, or whether it was supposed to be Shawn Michaels pretending he'd hurt his knee. I don't know, but yeah, I thought that was a bit stop-start for an ending, but the Street Music was huge. Really was. It was okay. Ending could have been better to this match. But yeah, that was okay. Decent match again. Shawn Michaels. What do you need to say? Then we got the women's tag team match. My view on this is tag teams in the WWE, women in the WWE, they've got enough good women wrestlers to do a tag team division. They showed it in this match. You know, your Melinas, your Mickie James, your Beth Phoenix, Natalie Neidhart, Talia Neidhart, Victoria. Candice Michelle isn't the worst in the ring in the world either. So they got enough talent there. They should, in my opinion, they should open the women's title to all 3 brands, or if there's a draft supposed to be coming up, then just put all your good women's wrestlers on Raw. Personally, I could say I'd put the ECW title, the women's title available for all 3 brands. There we are. Starting running out of time, so I might rush a bit now. Right, take it Edge. Disappointing bit of this, they did the exact same thing with Edge coming off the apron, getting caught and getting drove into the ring. It's the exact same thing Kane and Chavo did, which is a little bit disappointing. The crowd were a bit dead at the start of this. They weren't too much chanting, but they gradually came into it as the match went on. This went for a very long time in all fairness. They came into the match in the end as it started to pick up a bit. The slow periods did drop. You thought, like, right, this is going to be the mid-section of the match, the rest holds for it to get them not relaxed, to get them save their energy up for the big finale. But that seemed to go on for ages and ages. It was okay. It wasn't as good as their WrestleMania match. I wasn't expecting it to be. I think this feud is now done. But the interference has actually helped this. I thought they picked it up a bit at the end, a bit different to how a normal WWE match ends, like I said, with the finisher counters. But yeah, this is okay. I enjoyed it. I'd say it was slightly better than Michaels Batista, but it was okay. Wasn't as good as their WrestleMania match. It was okay though. We'll see who. This is the problem now with WWE on SmackDown. Who's going to challenge Taker? Who's left? Anyway, then we got the WWE title match, and I really wasn't looking forward to this. I thought this could have been awful, and that Orton was never going to retain, and it was going to suck. Orton didn't retain, but see, this is my gripe with this. I watched the True Slayer review, and you know, he said that he was into this because he was on edge, and he really didn't want Triple H to win, and yet he thought other people were really on edge, so they didn't want Orton to win. It was like, Triple H has been on to win the world title since No Mercy. You know, it's been, for me, I've been on edge since No Mercy, thinking he's going to win the title eventually. You may as well live with it. And you know, I just didn't want him to win it. I was gutted when he did, but I think I just, you know, accepted it's been coming. I mean, he's going to be stale as the champion. He's not going to do anything new. We're not going to see anything new from him. But there we are. It had to happen in the end. The match itself was okay. I thought, again, the slow periods in this were painful, a bit like the No Mercy Last Man Standing match. But it was okay. I think it was better than the other title match, because when JBL and Cena there, they were better than I thought they were going to be. Running out of time, if you want to score, I would say about 7 out of 10. Decent pay-per-view, nothing more.